talking about something that affects a lot more people than you might think, how social media, how it can complicate divorce. Joining us now is Chelsea Gajewski. She's a principal and managing attorney at Sodoma Law. Chelsea, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
More and more people tend to vent about their breakups online. What are the dangers in doing such a thing?
Well, everything's visible. It could be used against you in a myriad of different ways, whether it's a custody issue, a support issue, or just somebody antagonizing you about what's going on in your everyday life.
So let's say you post something and then you have regret and you take it down.
Yes.
If it's deleted, can it still be used against you?
Yes, especially if someone screen grabbed it. And I want to say there's a way to go back in your Facebook history and pull deleted information or archived information.
Okay, so let's say, let's talk about dating, right? A lot of people assume that if they're separated, they are fine to move on and to date. Are you legally allowed to do that? If you are separated, are you then free to go and date?
Yes, so in North Carolina, once you physically separate, you are able to date as you please, even though you may not be divorced yet.
Okay. Can you talk about let's go back to the dangers of venting about your ex on social media. Okay. How is this used as evidence in a divorce case?
It depends. If we're talking about a custody issue, that shows that you may not be able to co-parent with that person, or perhaps you're putting your hatred towards that person in front of the best interest of your child. So that's one way. And then if it is a support issue, marital misconduct, or making someone's life intolerable, or is that also impacting that person's ability to work? Like, are their coworkers seeing that? Are their employers seeing that? And then if you're the dependent spouse, the person who doesn't earn as much money, you don't want to do that to your supporting spouse. That could impact their earning capabilities.
That's a very good point. That is a very good point. Chelsea, what would you say to people who think, yeah, but I like this outlet. I'm going through such a difficult time, and I feel that when I go online on Instagram or Facebook and I talk about this, I like the release, I like the community, the advice people give me. What would you say to them?
I sympathize, and I like my own community as well, but I'd probably say you need to talk with a therapist, journal, or get a small group of trusted friends that you could vent to. But watch what advice you're getting, especially if you do have an attorney. I would always want to consult with them to make sure you're not saying something you don't want other people to find out in court.
I don't know if any examples come to mind for you, but real life stuff that you've seen in cases where social media posts were brought back to haunt the person who wrote them.
Yes.
Can you think of any?
Yes, I have had a couple custody cases where it was dad in this instance. He was doing a audio, like trying to do a YouTube account. And all of a sudden you see guns in the background that aren't locked up. So that was used against him in a custody case. I've also seen posts where they are calling that person names, or they are tagging their employers. And so it becomes a broader issue. Then that could lead to civil issues. And so other attorneys are getting involved. So really limiting and keeping your life private, especially during this time, and even afterwards if you have kids, is my preference. That's the advice I give my clients as well.
I think that's really good advice. Okay, let's say someone posts a photo with the new person they're dating. They're still just separated. The divorce is not final yet. Is that a problem?
It depends. I don't personally think so, especially, are the kids in the photo? Has this person met your child yet? And then if someone has an agreement in place that says, you can't introduce your child to somebody unless they've been in a relationship for 6 months. Is that within the time frame? So always making sure you're looking at your documents if you have one. And then some people require or request a little heads up before that introduction to a child. But if you haven't introduced them to that child and it's your business, I say go ahead and post it. I don't have a problem with that.
We really have to use a lot of common sense, and maybe just pause for a moment before you post anything regarding your ex or with new person and kids. You just don't want to mess this up because it's so sensitive, and it's already such a difficult time, fraught with a lot of tension, it can be, and anxiety. So maybe if you're in doubt, just don't post anything.
Yes, if you're in doubt, don't post anything. And then even when you're dating, as you know, you don't really know this person for a while. So you could be posting somebody you've just met, and then all of a sudden you found out they got a DWI last week, and then your spouse is going to use that against them.
Yes.
You just don't know.
Yeah, so it's really tricky. So just maybe
Don't post.
Don't post.
Yes.
Don't post, and the importance of getting a good attorney for sure. One last question for you. What if your ex is posting about you?
Negatively?
Yes.
Yeah, I would consult your attorney right away. I would screen grab that information and talk with your attorney about options, strategy, and how you want to use that information.
Okay. Chelsea, thank you so much. Great information.
Thank you for
Great
having me.
information. All right, go to sodomalaw.com for more information. You see it there on your screen, sodomalaw.com.